exclusive talent.
Director here at the Dance Institute of Washington, and I am so thrilled to be presenting an extraordinary collaborative effort here for you today in partnership with the Swahili Foundation and Entertainment. Before we get started, I want to describe a bit about the production that we prepared, because it's quite a unique experience that is afforded to us by the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities, which is one of the largest supporters of arts and humanities initiatives in the city. So something quite innovative that the Commission does is they offer something called a field trip experience opportunity. And the theory behind this is that there are lots of ways in which young people learn about history, about arts, right, about science, about STEAM, about math, different subjects, the ideas that we learn about those concepts differently. Some of us learn by reading in a classroom, some of us learn by listening, some of us learn by talking, and some of us, like those of us here in the studio, learn by moving, right? And by actually experiencing the art. So we were thrilled about the opportunity to take these subjects in honor of Black History Month and come up with a collaborative production that would showcase through music, spoken word, arts, dance, entertainment, that would showcase critical subjects that we know are important for young people to know, right? Who are some of the key figures throughout history that have advanced movements, that have advanced social justice, that have invented things, right? That have shifted culture. Really important people that honestly, we feel that they're getting lost. They're getting lost. We're losing our connection to some of these historic and monumental figures. So what you're going to experience today is a very unique medium to learning about that information, to learning that knowledge, to learning about those people, to learning about those really significant events in history that have shaped the culture, industry, and experiences that we know today, right? We're going to connect them. We're going to walk you through a journey, and it's going to be engaging. You'll see and experience something, and then we'll ask you about it. We'll ask you questions. We'll interact with you, and all of that through this process, we're hoping is going to help you acquire and retain that knowledge. So I'm super excited. I think there is a wide array of the arts that you're going to experience. And I don't have a lot of time for this introduction, so with that, I'm actually going to kick it off and introduce the starting point of this evening's production, which is going to be a solo work choreographed by Kevin Malone, performed by our upper division student, Naima Akers.
Me not, oh gentle Savior, hear my humble cry. Whilst on earth me at the throne of mercy. Find a sweet relief. Kneeling there in deep contrition.
And my question for you is, just tell me a bit about the Dance Institute of Washington.
Absolutely, I would love to, because it actually ties into the work, the experience that that you all are experiencing right now. But the Dance Institute of Washington is really a unique organization. We are a pre-professional school, we are a black box theater, we are a cultural exchange, both local and international, creative placemaking organization, right? And through those different programmatic efforts, we are hoping to advance equity and representation at the societal and industrial level in dance. So part of that is our pre-professional school, right? And which Naima is a part of in our upper division. And it's so important in order to achieve those outcomes that the students get not only training, world-class training in a variety of genres, but that they understand the history and the context of the movement. They can actually connect it to experiences of their identity, of their background, of their culture, etc. You show up differently to performance of movement when you can make those connections, quite genuinely. So I think Naima, this excerpt in particular was from a production we did during the COVID-19 pandemic entitled Our Spiritual Journey, which was produced by our creative director, Ashante Green. And each section, each excerpt, each piece in that production was tied to this theme of giving the students an opportunity to connect their movement, their training, their performance experience to a much deeper, richer history. So we do all of that here at the Dance Institute of Washington. It's a long answer, but I'm hoping that at some point Naima can share specifically what that experience was like through this piece.
Yeah. Which is a great segue, which leads me to my next question, which I'm going to give to Naima. Tell me about your work with Mr. Malone and what this piece kind of means to you. Being a part of the rehearsal process, I could see and was a part of those stories, but in your own words, just let us know what that is like or has been for you.
So throughout the entire process, Mr. Malone was choreographing this and then teaching it, and then really refining it and making it personal to me. There was a lot of history that went into it, so a lot of the different movements, motifs, you'll see it incorporates a different element of history. Also, specifically like to my experience. I remember when I was learning this, I was at my house on Zoom, and my dad came in and he heard me, he heard the song, he saw me rehearsing, and afterwards he told me that it was my grandmother's favorite song. So that, right off the bat, that means a lot to me, and I shared that with Mr. Malone, and we really went deeper into that. So my grandmother, her name is Maggie. This is, to me, like Maggie's dance and Maggie's story. And so, yeah, just really thinking about her experiences, her story, really helped me bring this dance story.
I will say, watching you perform this, hearing the music actually resonated a lot with me, and it reminded me a lot about my grandmother, so I appreciate that. My next question will be for Naima as well. There's a lot of symbolism in this piece, and a lot of that, those motifs that you speak of, right? There's a moment in the beginning of the piece where you're running back and you're banging on the wall. What does that symbolism mean to you, or historical context that you could share?
Yes, so banging on the door, that represents banging on the door of no return. The door of no return is in Ghana. It's this castle. There are a few like Cape Cod, and we look back and we see these beautiful sites, historical landmarks, but it was a castle to house enslaved people, to prepare them for their voyage to the Americas. And so when I'm banging on the door of no return, that's my last hope, my last way out, and I'm stuck. And so that's the beginning, in the beginning of the piece, and from there I'm coping with that and moving on to my journey.
Thank you for sharing that. My next question will be for someone in the audience. Feel free to raise your hand and just let me know if you want to add. Looking at this piece, how does it make you feel? Yeah.
It makes me feel inspired by the piece, because when I see that, when I see her dancing, the door of no return was inspiration to, not inspiration, but
It's impacting.
yeah, impacting, because it's very historical, and yeah.
Anyone else? Jador?
It kind of makes me feel like I'm really in the timeline where there was lots of black people who were enslaved, and it kind of makes me feel like I'm really in there, I'm in a movie, but it's just I feel it and I see it.
Yeah. Thank you, Jador. Yeah, give it up to Jador. And I think as we are looking at this piece, it is very, as Lauren kind of illuminated, it is impacting in a lot of different ways, just the history that it kind of represents for us, being Black in America, right? My next question is, there's a beautiful moment, technical moment in the piece, Naima, where you are kind of lifting your leg in a penché, right? And Mr. Malone spoke to the wingspan that you kind of you're expressing in that. In that piece, there's a very clear directive behind it. Could you just share that with the audience and just let us know what that meant?
Yes, so I'm in the penché, and obviously it's a lot more interesting for my arms to be doing something else. But behind it, they're my wings, I'm taking flight. And there's a story behind it, Eagle's Landing, which is African folklore. It was some of the very first enslaved people in the Americas. If I'm not mistaken, it was in Virginia, but I'm not entirely sure. And the enslaved people, they committed a mass suicide. They walked back into the water, and the legend or the folklore of that is that they turned into birds and they took flight and they flew back to their home in Africa. And so that is what I'm thinking about when I'm taking flight in the township.
Does anyone in the audience know anything about Eagles Landing or want to share a bit of the history that they know? Okay, that's cool. No, we appreciate that. Any questions for Naima? Any questions for Ms. Kahina? Yeah.
What was the hardest part to learn of that dance? Because just watching it, there was a lot of technical moments. So which one was the most difficult?
This might be a little bit of a cop-out, but I would say that the moments that were the least technical were the most difficult for me. Like, yeah, I'm punching, I'm doing pirouettes, and the pirouettes are hard, but I think that when I'm really just living, when I'm just swinging my hips and walking, the character of it, not that it was really difficult, but I really wanted to do it justice and get it right. So I think that was the most challenging.
If you want to find any other information about the Dance Institute of Washington, you can find us at danceinstituteofwashington.org. Thank you both so much.
Be as great as Mansa Musa, who was the richest person on earth and built entire civilizations. Be as strong as Nelson Mandela, who endured years of oppression and imprisonment and helped end apartheid in South Africa. Be as great as Mae Jemison, who was the first African-American female to go to outer space. Be as great as Benjamin Banneker, a mathematician, astronomer, designer, and architect of the very city that you live in. Be as great as Madam C.J. Walker and create your own product and become a millionaire. Be as great as Beyonce, who redefined the word entertainer and would go on to become a global icon. Be as great as Dr. Mubinga and create a new way of fueling the planet to become safer and cleaner. Be as great as Katherine Johnson, who created strategies and calculated mathematics to send the first man into outer space. Be as great as Severin Kinzu, who created the very software and technology that will protect you in a car crash. Be as great as Idris Sandu, who created the algorithm that operates your favorite application, Instagram.
What your life like? gotta get it, how you live. In a minute that it's here, it could all disappear. If you don't understand the gift we've been given, put us on a different type of mission. Gotta understand the melanin. I am more than my skin tone. Open up your eyelids, you can see the melanin in my iris. See, this the type of rhythm that we've been on, and this is why I've been gone. Melanated mentality, my pineal gland had me here cooking up for centuries, and now you get to witness the climax when I rap. See, I tap into the higher power. We shall not be moved, they get devoured. No ceiling, no roof, victory's ours. Now we leading our exodus. Fist bumping, bass knocking, tell them catch me if you can. All they see is my skin and my hair. You can tell them elevated, watch me get them elevated. We gon' change the energy in here. Boy, I had to get dangerous, show them I'm a G. We the ones you've been looking for. Even to the ones listening with their finger on the trigger. We gon' give you what you need and more. What's a bullet or a dollar to his God-given ancient gift? Another day from every chance they get. Babylon steady hating, they don't make no sense. Either the pig to the niggas, look, take your pick. Them odds stacked up more than Mason bricks. Though we the chosen ones and we was built for this. Got me activated, toting ancient gifts. Yeah, them lames had a turn and we came and went. Put they name in the urn with the pain chagrin. Cause if it costs you your soul or your happiness, then it's way too expensive. Imagine this. It was the luxury tax to be African and have half the sense to know that you glow from your crown on the way down to your abdomen. Baby, now you got the keys, you been had the strap. You ain't even gotta navigate this labyrinth. You connected to the source, so you bound to win. Though all they see is my skin and my hair. You can tell them elevated, watch me get them elevated. We gon' change the energy in here. Boy, I had to get dangerous, show them I'm a G. We the ones you've been looking for. Even to the ones listening with their finger on the trigger. We gon' give you what you need and more. What's a bullet or a dollar to his God-given ancient gifts? What's your life like? What do you really know? Tell me when is your time? Who you gonna call? Tell me what your life like. Tell me when is your time?
Please, thank you. What up, y'all? How y'all doing? Y'all feeling good? Hey, you alive right now? You need to make some noise real quick. That's what I'm talking about. For those who don't know, I go by the name of Image. I am a G. That joint you just heard was called Ancient Gifts off my upcoming album entitled Black Luxury Deluxe. Definitely gonna want to check that out. Meanwhile, we're so excited to be here with you. We got a special treat for you. We're giving you selections from Taylor to City, some of the other projects we've been working on with DIW, some very amazing things happening. And this show is celebrating Black movement and culture. So we're going on a ride, okay? We're going from the past all the way to the future and back around again, you know? And we're here to have fun. So with that being said, we're gonna seize the moment. Okay, I'm gonna bring my brother out here, your entity.
Yes, sir.
Hey, why don't you talk to him?
Hey. Y'all
Don't just stand there, you gotta go out and get it. Do something with yourself now. Every day you gotta stay committed. Cause there ain't nobody else that can do it for you. Just listen to your heart, and ain't nothing that you can't do. Don't second guess yourself now, only do what's best for you. Don't let the industry hollow you. Just be humble and always true. Keep your crew to a minimum. And keep pushing, keep moving, keep grinding, keep growing. Continue to follow through, do what you gotta. So why don't you sit
Time is now, I've been feeling a breakthrough. Time is now, yeah, we finna break through. Dawn of a new century. Mention these bars in the history books. They want us in the penitentiary. Sure, we way too close to victory. Look, you're the only one that can save you. Using every single thing that God gave you. Get it right first time like it's no take two. If we don't take it, how we gon' shake loose? They ain't give us nothing, then we gotta make do. We been coast to coast all around the world. From the Mayan ruins where they buried the pharaohs. I don't even know who they been waiting on. We don't even got time to debate no more. You ready to break through? Put a fist in the air, we gone. In the galactic, in the blink of an eye, hit warp speed, something that you gotta seize. This very moment right here, for you know it, in a second we be gone, flying speeding light years beyond any stressed out worry nightmares. Bright fear when we made a light. Warrior blood, divine tears, gotta love it. Why you gotta stay living in the moment? Each one, even this one right here.
Ready, set, go. Every day's a show. Go for what you know, and don't stop till you get it, get it. Time short, gotta live it. Gotta make use of every minute. I don't see a finish line. When you wanna be the greatest of all time, you gotta work hard, stay on the grind. Collect more haters, push past them and pay them no mind. Just pay them no mind. So why don't you seize the moment? You gotta seize. Live life like you own it. You gotta seize. So why don't you seize the moment? You gotta seize. Live life like you own it.
How many of y'all got a dream out here? How many of y'all got a dream out here? You got a dream out here. You gotta live your dream. You gotta seize that moment. Whenever you get ready, that opportunity is gonna come. You gotta take that opportunity right then and right now. Always do your best and always do great. That's right there. That's gonna see you next. So my brother Image just introduced himself. I'll give you a brief introduction. My name is Entity. I go by Entity, E-N-T-A-T-Y. Follow me on all social medias with that. What we are going to do is give you a full display of Black culture, Black movement, Blackness at its finest. Okay? And what we did was we collaborated with our brothers and sisters over in South Africa, which is that flag that you see on the left-hand side, or the right-hand side here. And we got family over there that is really expanding and doing their music, and we wanted to bring it over here so they can let it be known and we can hear their sounds and their different culture and blend it in with our culture, the DC culture. How many from DC out here? Okay, all right, that's a bet. That's a bet. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a quick, I would say, Q&A really quick. How many of you guys know the capital of South Africa? Can anybody tell me the capital of South Africa? Cape Town. Cape Town? Is that what you said? That's a good guess. That's a good guess. That's a good guess. Anybody else?
Another good guess. Those are popular cities. You may not have heard this one. These are all cities in South Africa.
All cities in South Africa.
So it's a funny name. I gotta listen carefully. It's a funny name. It's called Bloemfontein. Can y'all say that? Bloemfontein. Yeah. South Africa actually has 3 different capitals throughout the city. Another one is Pretoria. A lot of the artists that we connected with on this album, this Tell the Two Cities album, are in the Pretoria area, Maganalane. You know, all of these are cities in South Africa that kind of make up the culture that you see. I got another question for y'all. Does anybody know the currency of South Africa? Anybody know the currency? The money? What type of money they got over there? Anybody know?
Anybody know?
I see a hand in the back. Is Rand up?
The Rand?
Yes! Yes! She's saying Rand.
Clap it up for her.
Yeah. South African Rand, R-A-N-D. You're gonna make sure you get a bracelet or something for our Instagram. That's actually a great answer. South African Rand. So right now, I believe the Rand is about 14 to 1 US dollar. So all of these things are, you know, very similar but slightly different. Very similar but slightly different. All right, we're gonna do what? One more question?
One more question. You can give one more question.
Let me see something y'all right now. How about, nah, that's too easy.
That's too easy.
Yeah.
All right, give me some hard.
All right, so check it out. Give me one. They got something in Africa called the the Big Five. They say the Big Five. Okay? You go on a trip, you see the Big Five, you're riding the Jeep, give me one. I don't want to be too obvious to tell you what the Big Five are. Does anybody know what we're talking about? I see another hand. Alright, we're talking about animals. Big Five. All of these animals are in South Africa. People fly from all around the world to come see these animals. You can give me one. An animal. I see your hand. What you got? Yes, a lion. See, that wasn't so hard, right? A lion. Absolutely.
Yes.
So when you go to South Africa, you can go on a safari. That was one of the coolest things that I saw. It's not like a zoo, because in a safari, you're like in a Jeep, everything's just open. You're just running around. You see lions, giraffes, rhinos, all of these different animals, all in one spot. That's one of the beautiful things about Africa.
And tell them, how did you go to South Africa?
So, yeah, great question. Back in 2015, I got invited to go to South Africa on a leadership retreat, and the organizer of the trip found out about our organization, the Swaliga Foundation. And that trip absolutely changed my life. I had never been to a place that just felt like home. The first time that I went, from the people, to the music, to the food, to the culture, to the dances, everything just felt like home, and it was so much love. Nothing that I've ever felt before. So I was like, I gotta make sure that we get this opportunity out to as many people as possible. The very next year, we took 2 students with us on a cultural exchange trip. Year after that, we took 5. In 2018, there were over 100 students and educators from across the U.S. that went with us to South Africa to do a week-long exchange. We did workshops. We went to see some of the sites, and then we ended the week with a big concert at the Soweto Theater. So those are some of the things that we do with the Swaliga Foundation, and that's how we were able to connect with so many artists and dope people over there to help make this Tell the Two Cities project. Those connections are still strong.
Absolutely, and those connections are lasting right now, and we're connecting DC to South Africa in every way that we possibly can through our music, okay? And one of the things that we do connect with is through go-go music. How many of y'all know about go-go music?
I heard go-go music.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about that. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that a little later. I see some hands out here, but we're gonna talk about that a little later. But as we get into it, we just want to let you guys know that you guys can support and follow the tribe. If you guys have Instagram or Twitter, or your parents have Instagram or Twitter, you can follow the tribe at Tribe Swaliga, the Swaliga Foundation. And we have classes, we have sessions, we have pretty much everything for the youth, as well as things for adults. So, yeah.
Absolutely, SWALIGA.
Yes.
And that word, Swaliga, for those that don't know, it's a tribal word derived from the island of St. Martin. It means passion. Okay, and that's what we do, is help young superstars like yourselves find their passion, figure out what it is that you love to do, and help you become successful at doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we already see a bunch of faces in here that are doing some extremely phenomenal things.
Yes.
As I'm walking through the hallways, I'm
Yes.
seeing you guys doing your thing, and I really want to. Matter of fact, give it up for yourselves.
Places, but we thinking the same. We got nothing but time. I'm just so glad that I came. I don't ever wanna lose this feeling. I don't ever wanna lose this feeling. Yeah, we from 2 different places, but we thinking the same. We got nothing but time. I'm just so glad that I came. I don't ever wanna lose this feeling. I don't ever wanna lose this feeling.
God took time, made you with precision. Now stars aligning, we in position. Busy telling myself that I'm here on a mission. Don't dare get it twisted. Here, we can steam it up. Meanwhile, mommy cold as the ocean off the coast of Cape Town. In the middle of the winter. Yeah, I can tell she a winner. And she know how to stack dividends. I don't know, she Somali, you could be Libyan. Either way, you fly to find us this side the prime meridian. Gotta know I mean that, love. Dimple in your smile, I can tell that she feeling it. We don't need the same language, yeah, that we saying the same thing. And I don't ever want to spill in the banquet. Dance floor conversations, cause
we from 2 different places, but we thinking the same. We got nothing but time. I'm just just so glad that I came. I don't ever wanna lose this feeling. I don't never ever wanna lose this feeling. Yeah. We from two different places, but we thinking the same. We got nothing but time. I'm just so glad that I came. I don't ever wanna lose this feeling. I don't never ever wanna lose this feeling. Yeah, yeah. Nice. I'ma kiss up and love up on ya, 'cause I'm loving the way that I'm feeling right now. I just wanna get next to you every night and every day. And even though I'm far away, I can feel your presence in every way. It's the warmth in your smile, makes me feel like home. It's the light in your eyes, I'm not ever alone. And I can't wait to hold you, wanna shape the mold you, wanna build you up. It's the two of us, it's always enough. Trust. We from two different places, but we thinking the same. We got nothing but time. I'm just so glad that I came. I don't ever wanna lose this feeling. I don't ever ever wanna lose this feeling. Yeah, we from two different places, but we thinking the same. We got nothing but time. I'm just so glad that I came. I don't ever wanna lose this feeling. I don't ever ever wanna lose this feeling. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. She's beautiful, right? Beautiful. We don't do ugly people in Africa, guys. I'm joking. I'm joking.
That song was called This Feeling. Yes. That song is called This Feeling.
This feeling.
Once again, it's available right now on all streaming platforms called Tale of Two Cities by Image and by Entity. So you can go check us out right now on all streaming platforms. Alright? This Feeling. Hey, Image.
What up, bro?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man.
You feeling great?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so since you're feeling great, let's do this. Let's talk about some of the things that we need to do as a collective. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
No problem?
Okay.
So when we talk about the collective, we talk about the tribe, right?
Yeah.
When we talk about the tribe gotta have a certain amount of guidelines.
Absolutely.
To kind of follow.
Absolutely.
In order for you to get to the next step.
Absolutely.
You want to talk about the guidelines?
Yeah, so I noticed you said guidelines and not rules.
Oh.
You see?
There you go.
Rules are made to be broken, they say.
There you go.
Guidelines are made to be followed. These are passed down from the ancestors. These are our values, our morals. This is how we stay grounded. Guidelines. Talk to them.
Ancestors showed them the guidelines.
You gotta show them stuff.
Somebody showed them the rules we abide by. Where do we draw the line? Oh, I'm talking about guidelines. Ancestors showed them the guidelines. Somebody showed them the rules we abide by. Where do we draw the line?
Where do we draw the line? Where do we go from here? The whole world shook. Wasn't a monsoon, wasn't an earthquake. How did we get confused here in the first place? Meanwhile, we still here by any means. Who been feeding the people and who been feeding ego? Who been hugging the block? Who peeping through the people? Though they had us on the run, but we the sun, we the one, yeah, we the many. Got the light, but whoever on demon time, willing to fight for this land, for this seed of mine. Came so far, we won't hold back. So we came so far, we won't go back. What's up now? What's up?
Guidelines. Ancestors showed them the guidelines. Somebody showed them the rules we abide by. Where do we draw the line? Oh, talking about guidelines. Ancestors showed them the guidelines. Somebody showed them the rules we abide by. Where do we draw the line?
Dream like Martin, lead like Nelson, fight like Malcolm, think like Garvey, speak like Frederick, inspire like Obama, believe 'cause we created.
Guidelines, ancestors show them the guidelines. Somebody show them the rules we abide by. Where do we draw the line?
You talking about guidelines? Yeah.
That song right there was called Guidelines, y'all.
Guidelines.
Give it up for Miss Serving Coco. Serving Coco. Give it up for Serving Coco, y'all. That is our choreographer for the night. And we got some dope music for y'all to continue to listen to. And shout out to all of our drummers, our instrumentalists. Shout out to the producers of the show. Shout out Storm and Norman, who's got DJ. Shout out BC Visuals, I'm the director of photography. Shout out all our shooters. You know, we just want to give them a shout out while they're here. And it's good to give people their flowers while they're still here, right? So we always talk about, you know, celebrating each other as a community. You feel what I'm saying? So what we want to do is we want to continue to spread that love too. So thank you, Ms. Kahina Hines as well. Ms. Kahina Hines, we appreciate you so much for just giving us this opportunity. So I know she'll get lots of stuff on it. But anyway, all right, let's get to it. So how many y'all said y'all from DC? How many from DC? How many from DC? Oh, okay.
Everybody got some hands up.
All right, so somebody said they know about go-go music. Who said they know about go-go music? Who? Oh, we got a few in here. All right, what you know about go-go music? All right, so let me give you a question. Let me give you a question and see if y'all know something about go-go music. All right. Can anybody tell me? Might be too easy. I might be giving a too easy one.
You start with
an easy one. All right. Can anybody tell me who is the godfather of go-go? Can anybody tell me who the godfather of go-go is? We got a hand up over here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Wow. Very good, sir. That's right. That's good knowledge to know, right?
Hey, hold on, right? I said it don't mean a thing.
If it ain't got that go-go swing. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So go-go music is born and raised and bred here in Washington, D.C. And for those of you who are not from Washington, D.C. and maybe have traveled from abroad to live here, you now are getting a taste of the culture of what go-go music is. Go-go is what you call a polyrhythmic connection of sounds. Polyrhythmic means a bunch of different instruments playing together. Okay? A bunch of different instruments playing together. And what it's really rooted in is the heavy kick, those heavy kicks and those combos. Alright? How many know about combo? Anybody know about combo drum? Congo drum? Okay. Okay, all right. So those drums right there, those are called djembes. All right? So, and I'm glad you pointed that out because the similarities are what you call and response, okay? So the drums are call and response, all right? Say it with me, call and response. Okay, all right, so you gotta understand this is how your ancestors used to communicate hundreds of years ago. Guess what? They still communicate like that right now. We communicate like that with our go-go music. Okay? So part of that is knowing that when you are in this city, you have to hear go-go music. And if you hear go-go music, you have to love it. And if you have to love it, you gotta see it live. Okay? So I recommend everybody here see a live show. What you want to give them a second question? What's the second question?
Second question.
Yeah.
They might be too young for this one.
They might be too young?
I'll take the artist and or the song.
Okay.
Artist and or song. Famous movie directed by Spike Lee that became an international phenomenon. Does anybody know the artist or the song that I am talking about? It's a go-go song.
Go-go song.
I see
it came out of DC. It was
you want to try? I see your hand. You got a guess? School Days is a movie. I'll take it.
Good job. Excellent. What you know about School Days? Nah, but that's real. School Days is a very dope movie. So that song styles to it too, okay? So with go-go, it has what you call pocket beat, right? Pocket beat. And it's like a socket beat. Boom, ba, boom, ka, boom, ka, boom, ka, boom, ka, boom. Then you have a bounce beat. Y'all know about bounce beat? Who ain't know about bounce beat? Couple okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We see you. Alright, so if y'all know about the bounce beat, then y'all hear the bounce beat, y'all know what happens when you hear a bounce beat. What happens? You get that. Okay, alright, that's what I'm talking about. So what we about to do is we about to give you a quick selection of what you would call bounce beat go-go, okay? Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Let me hear you say yeah! Yeah! Alright. Hey, this song is called Trial. And it's featuring one of my brothers, Rock Mikey. He plays for UCB, okay? And I sing for UCB. And I'm gonna give you a little quick synopsis with it. Trust and believe you about to check this joint out. Hey, and guess who you feature? Guess who's here? Guess who's here? Guess who's here? I already know me. Hey, he's jumping. Hey, like this. Oh, Lord, it's party with the tribe. We gon' give them what they ordered. Oh, Lord, it's baby, cause I'm party with the tribe. Give them what they ordered. You rockin' with the tribe. Say Swaliga, baby. Swaliga, baby. If you rockin' with the tribe. The name of the song is called Rock and Roll, y'all. It's all over. This is called Heartbeat. I want y'all to take a look at this dancer right here. Super beautiful.
Shades, but our race remains the same. The streets littered with stains of lives lost along the way. Fathers weep in pain, and the mothers keep the faith. They say a prayer for their children every single day. A war we never bought, and yet we're forced to pay. What a day, what a day. Like the elephant and the twine, the chains are in our minds. They showed us broken mirrors, said our reflections were undefined. Sticks and stones, they cracked our bones. But through the glory of the Most High, we the bones. Our story's pure, our grounds are true. We celebrate the fallen for their fruits and nourish you. Sticks and stones, they cracked our bones. But through the glory of the Most High, we the thrones. Our story's pure, our grounds are true. We celebrate the fallen for their fruits and nourish you. Diversity is what we speak, nourishment, so take a seed. A reflection of the Most High, the seeds of greenery, ready for war like the cavalry. This is our cry, a tribal melody. Yes, they took our voices, yet we flourish globally. Free strength for the weak, seeds worth every feat. A collision of greatness, a victorious fragrance. Garden of gold, built with the soul. Oh, how they covered up our roots, but through the cracks we grow. Oh, through the cracks we grow. Like the elephant and the twine, the chains are in our minds. They showed us broken mirrors, that our reflections were undefined. Sticks and stones.
Killing it out here. So I wish I could do all that, man. I've been trying, but you know. But give it up one time, my father. Give it a reaction. It's a beautiful situation. Hey, and by the way, that's a go-go beat, y'all. I just heard it, right? And that artist is from South Africa. She had never heard a go-go beat ever in her life. We sent her that go-go beat. She sent us the track back maybe 2 or 3 days later with those vocals on it. So you gotta imagine how impressed we were when we heard that song, because all we did was send the track over. And she sent us back all this beautiful arrangement and song, and that was her on the screen. And her name is Black Rose. Okay, and that track is on Tale of Two Cities, which is available right now on all streaming platforms. Go check it out. So we gotta plug. And DIW is a beautiful situation here. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. So what we gonna do here? We come to the end of the show. Did y'all enjoy yourselves? Did y'all really enjoy yourselves? Okay, all right. That's okay.
You enjoyed yourself. For this last one, you gotta get as loud as y'all can. We got to celebrate.
We gotta celebrate, y'all. Come on.
Celebration time just soon as we touch down. Them lights a little brighter every time that we come round. Went from volunteering on Bennett Road to standing on the beach looking at the stars to my dinner coat, shouting thank you God as I say my grace. You don't know what we've been through, excuse my face. Look, I'll tell you about it later, but for now I'll say, yo, this for all my youngins out in Lago State. The elders, we gon' celebrate the heavyweight. Southeast to South Africa, what better place? Toast to more life, many nights, many late. So we here now, time to motivate. Yeah, we kicking the door in, bust it wide open, ain't near lane closed. Take a moment, have my phone on airplane mode. Been up early in the morning executing this goal. Now it's time to let loose, gotta know that we on. Doing the impossible, the tribe is unstoppable. Moving overseas, what you mean? We got a lot to do. And these days, it ain't really a lot to prove. Got all my youngest with me, and you know we on the move.
We gon' celebrate like it was a holiday. We earn it like every day. Money coming in, post up another win. From DC to Twenty, we going in. We gon' celebrate like it was a holiday. We earn it like every day. Money coming in, post up another win. From DC to Twenty, we going in. It's a celebration, standing ovation. Business handled, next destination. Pour out the champagne, salute the campaign. Swaliga, baby, and Olay, please learn the names. Years of hard work and finally paid off. We done came a long way so far. Been building and giving back to my hood. I don't say much, what's known as understood. It takes a lot to run in my shoes, to do what I do. Check the stats, man, I've always been true. And the work that I put in, I hope it changed lives. If it didn't, hell with it, it was all worth the ride. And many tears cried, many lost lives. Neighborhoods ripped apart right in front of my eyes. But I still do this from the heart. Put the work in, now it's time for the bottles to pop. From SA to
Yeah, we doing the impossible, the tribe is unstoppable. Moving overseas, what you mean? We got a lot to do. And these days, it ain't really a lot to prove. Got all my youngins with me, and you know we on the move.
We gon' celebrate like it was a holiday. We earn it like every day. Money coming in, post up another win. From DC to Twenty, we going in. We gon' celebrate like it was a holiday. We earn it like every day. Money coming in, post up another win. From DC to Twenty, we going in. We gon' celebrate like it was a holiday. We earn it like every day. Money coming in, post up another win. From DC to Twenty, we going in. We gon' celebrate like it was a holiday. We earn it like every day. Money coming in, post up another win. From DC to Twenty, we going in.
We want to thank y'all so much for giving us this opportunity to come out and rock with y'all. We really appreciate y'all. We love y'all energy. We love y'all. PIW, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. We appreciate you. Ashanti, we love you. Danielle, hey, baby. I know we be giving each other a hard time, but we love it. We love it. Hey, shout out to the squad. The whole squad. Follow us at OLENT.IG. Check us out for everything that we're doing in the community, and not only just in the community, but outside of our communities, because we're expanding our reach. So we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for having us. Rocking with the tribe, say Swahili.